So today we're going to do a bit of foot exploration. So I'm going to just stand up, and you're just going to stand as naturally as possible. So whatever just comes naturally to you, how you typically stand, that's what you're going to do. And I just want you to take a moment to take an inventory of, what I want you to tune into every part of the bottom of your foot that's contacting the floor right now. Where do you tend to contact the floor with your foot? Where do you tend to distribute the weight in your feet? So maybe you put a lot of weight out on the outer edges of your foot. Maybe you put a lot of weight onto the inner edge of your foot. Maybe you tend to be leaned forward a little bit and you have a lot of weight in the ball of the foot or the heel. Maybe you favor one foot over the other with that whole hip cocked out to the side kind of thing, okay? And I want you to just pay attention to the contact points with the floor, where your weight is landing, and just sit with it for a moment, okay? And now before we look at playing with different positioning and different weight distributions, I want you to stay where you were, and I want you first to just tune in with what's happening with your arch right now. What's happening at your ankle? Are there any sensations? Does there feel like there's more pressure on one side than the other? Any discomfort, any pain? Does it feel locked? How do your calves feel? What are your knees doing? Are they locked in place? Can you hyperextend your knees? And by can you, I mean, don't see if you can, but like, do you stand that way where you hyperextend your knees and your knee almost kind of rounds out at the back? Some people can do that. My knees don't do that, so I can't show you what it looks like, but you've probably seen it before and know what I'm talking about. How do your hips feel? How does your low back feel? Do you feel any pressure? Does your spine feel like it can stand up nice and straight without too much effort, or do you feel like you have to really hold yourself up? Just noticing how your body feels on all the different levels with your feet as they normally are. Okay, this is your normal. This is what you normally feel. And I want to see if you can pick up on any smaller sensations while we're here. Although also worth noting would be how far apart your feet are. Do you tend to stand really wide stanced? Do you tend to stand super narrow? Are you around hip width apart? Okay, so just taking into consideration what your normal is and how your body responds to that normal. Now, what we're going to start playing with to explore other sensations in the body is, first I'm just going to run over the three main contact points in the foot. So on the foot, we've got the heel, we've got the base of the big toe, and we have the base of the little toe. Those are our main three contact points. Obviously your toes contact, all that kind of stuff, but those are the main 3 points. And each foot should have 50% of your body weight on it. And of that body weight each individual foot is carrying, half of that should be roughly carried by the heel, the rest mostly carried at the ball of the big toe and a little bit at the ball of the baby toe, right? So what you're going to do is just really first stand here with your weight evenly distributed and just really focus on feeling those 3 contact points, okay? Feel them against the floor, zone into them. And then we're going to just start just ever so slightly rocking back and forth so that the weight's more towards the ball of the foot, more towards the heel, back to the ball, back to the heel. Just going back and forth and just noticing how the sensations change up your body, how the balance feels throughout the rest of your body when your weight's more towards the front of the foot or towards the back of the foot. So we're just noticing sensations right now. Everyone's anatomy is a little bit different. We're all a little unique. Our bone structure, the way that our bones are shaped, the length of the bones, the width of the bones, the ways that the joints are shaped, the way that the different bones in the joints come together and interact with one another. We're all completely unique. So there are some things that you're never going to be able to change. It's just the way that your body is structured, and that's totally fine. It might be completely different from the person next to you. It might be similar. A lot of cues that they give in exercise classes and yoga are kind of for the general average, but not everyone falls in that bubble. And so not every cue is appropriate for everyone, and not every way of standing is, not one way of standing is appropriate for everyone. So this is just about exploring what feels best in your body. Okay, so we've done a lot of back and forth rocking. Now we're gonna go side to side. So when I'm going to the right, I'm putting a lot more weight on the outer edge of my right foot, outer edge of my left foot, and as a result, I'm putting a little more weight on the inner edge of the opposite foot, right? You know what I'm saying? So just seeing how that feels in your body. Okay, side to side. And now we're gonna kind of do like little circles. Okay, coming back towards the heel, out to the outer foot. You can switch directions. Again, just noticing, getting familiar with those contact points with the floor and what that feels like through the rest of your body. Okay, and eventually you'll kind of settle on a really happy medium. You'll go, this is my good balance point between the front and back foot. This is a good, I can feel the 3 points in my foot, right? And that is pretty much it for today. Now, if you have found this new place, maybe it's very similar to what you were doing before, maybe it's drastically different from what you were doing before. I just want you to go through what we did at the very beginning again, a quick inventory of how does my foot feel? How does my ankle feel? The knees, the hips, the spine. Does anything feel different? Does anything feel a little bit easier, a little better supported? It might feel different in an awkward kind of way because it's new, but does it feel bad, right? So just kind of seeing how your body responds to your feet contacting the floor in different ways. And that's it for today.